Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Today we're going to talk about the balance changes. We have the official announcement for February of 2019's balance changes. So in today's video, I am going to list the 6 balance changes. That is it, just 6 nerfs/buffs in this update. After that, I'm going to give my opinion, talk about what I was surprised at, what I liked, what I didn't like, and what is not there that I was hoping/expecting to be there. So before we get into the balance changes, really quickly, we also have a Clan War collection mode update. So the modes are going to be classic decks, double elixir draft, sudden death, 2v2 touchdown, and 2v2 triple elixir. Those are going to be the 5 modes in Clan War collection. Now to the balance changes. We have Musketeer. The damage increase of Musketeer by 3%. So that's pretty self-explanatory. The nerf is to 3 Musketeers. The elixir cost is going to be changed back to the original 10 elixir. That's right, some of you OG viewers might remember back when the card was introduced, it was originally 10 elixir. Now that's actually more than just a 1 elixir nerf, because you have to add in or factor in that half of an elixir or so that you are leaking when you get to 10 elixirs. So they essentially cost 10.5 elixir to play now. But remember, they did get a subtle buff too because of the 3% damage increase of the individual Musketeer. So where will they land? Time will tell. Personally, I think that they still actually might be usable, but certainly not as strong. So again, time will tell on that one. Moving on, we have the Cannon Cart buff. The hit speed has returned to 1.2 from 1.3, so a 1/10 of a second quicker on that fire rate. And if you guys remember, when the Cannon Cart had the 1.2 fire rate, it was good and it was everywhere, especially with Graveyard. I expect to see that again. Cannon Cart's one of my favorite buffs of this balance changes, or one of my favorite changes in here. And one of my other favorites is the freeze nerf, or should I say the freeze murder. They killed freeze, guys. Damage reduced by 6%. Okay, that's kind of noteworthy, whatever. But the duration has been nerfed by 20%, by a full second. It's been changed from 5 seconds to 4 seconds now on freeze duration. That's pretty dramatic. I don't know if we'll see freeze anymore, even though it still kills like skeletons and bats, I believe, despite that damage nerf. I don't know. I think that 5 to 4 seconds is pretty dramatic. Personally, I think that will change the card from being incredibly meta, one of the most meta spells in the game right now, to really niche, the way it used to be, where you can use it as kind of a surprise card, but no longer you can see it, expect to see it in every single deck. Oh, this guy's playing Hog, probably running freeze. This guy's playing Graveyard, most likely going to be a freeze deck. That hopefully won't be the case anymore. Now we have also a Knight buff, which is interesting. I like seeing that. The Knight sees a health increase by 2.5%. What does that really change in the game? Well, one easy way to explain it is the Knight used to be able to only survive 2 P.E.K.K.A. swings. He can now survive and live to see the day after 3 P.E.K.K.A. swings. That goes to show you how a 2.5% buff to a unit in terms of HP, in this case, can really have a pretty dramatic, pretty noteworthy effect on the card. And the last balance change is a nerf to the Dart Goblin. The Dart Goblin's going to see his hit speed reduced from 0.65 to 0.7 seconds. So a kind of expected nerf to the ever so strong Dart Goblin. And that's it for the balance changes. Now let's talk a little bit about these balance changes. Now if you look at them, Musketeer, 3 Musketeer, Freeze, Cannon Cart, Knight, and Dart Goblin, I don't know if I have a problem with any of the balance changes. So in that sense, I applaud the Supercell team for this round of balance changes. I really personally can't argue with anything, although I'm going to kind of keep a question mark on seeing how the 3 Musketeer kind of evolves in the meta at 10 elixir. I'm not really sure yet, especially with that Musketeer buff. But with that aside, I like the balance changes. I actually asked Seth to come on the channel to talk, but I think he was traveling to Germany right now, so it didn't really work out, because I wanted to ask him a few questions about what we didn't see, right? So there's a lot of stuff that I expected to possibly be in these balance changes that we did not see. But before I talk about those individual cards, I want to talk a little bit about what will change in the meta, what will change in terms of archetypes. And what I was kind of looking for, especially with the 3 Musketeer nerf, is maybe a buff to Zappies and Royal Hogs. Now, I don't think that Royal Hogs are in the worst spot in the game. Zappies certainly are, but I would like to see that dual lane archetype have kind of another mechanism to thrive inside the game, especially if Three Musketeers end up being way worse than they currently are. So seeing Zappies, seeing basically cards that you can split in the back shine again, to me would kind of add a nice variety to the game, and that's what I'm looking for here, and that's what I think, although I do like the balance changes, that's kind of what I think was missing, in my opinion, from these balance changes. We're not really going to see any big meta shifts, in my opinion. Maybe some less Three Musketeers. We're still going to see a lot of Mortar, probably going to see some Expo. Siege still will be viable, even with the Wall Breakers. I don't think Wall Breakers will get a lot of use. Maybe I'll be wrong. We'll see. I think that Graveyard Freeze won't be as strong. Maybe because of that, we'll see a little bit less Poison, a little bit more Fireball. But overall, I think Graveyard will still be alright, even without the Freeze. I think that, you know, Freeze will just be less, but Freeze has crept into every single meta inside the entire game. Other than that, Beatdown will still be pretty good, P.E.K.K.A will be pretty good, Bridgetown will be alright, Bait will be meh. I think that I would like to have seen kind of more of a meta shift type balance change here or there inside this, so we could expect something a little bit new to freshen up the game. Whether you agree or disagree with any of my personal opinions on those archetypes, wouldn't you guys like to see just, you know, just different decks in the arena, right? So as far as the cards that I wanted to see, guys, I was kind of expecting a small buff to the Ram Rider or a rework to the Ram Rider, and speaking of reworks, I really applauded the team reworking the Heal. I wish they could tackle one card rework every single month. Now, I know Heal did not work out. Heal should just be, like, deleted from the game, I feel like, personally, but whatever. That's another video for another day. But I would like to see them tackle these problem cards, like Bomber that's never really been viable, or Elite Barbarians that's always really been broken. I'd like to see them tackle one of those cards a month for a nice rework, and we didn't really see that. We did see the new mechanic on clones, so I guess if you consider that a rework, we'll qualify it this month. So I would like to see another one next month and have that trend continue. Also, the Mortar. I think the Mortar probably needed a bit of a nerf, even with the Wall Breakers. Like I said, I think that Mortar's still going to be super strong. The Dark Goblin did get a little nerf there for that Mortar bait deck, but I think it's still going to be super viable. I also think that the Goblin Giant and maybe the Giant could have used a little bit of an HP buff as well. We saw that Giant. I'd like to have the Giant get his 0.5 HP nerf, get that back as a buff again. I don't think that was really deserved a couple months ago, and the Goblin Giant, I feel like he's just on the cusp of being meta. I would like to actually see the Goblin Giant get another small little buff and see what he would look like being a viable meta card. It would make things feel, again, a little bit more fresh, at least to me. Also, we talked about Zappies and the Royal Hogs. I was kind of expecting those cards to potentially get a buff. A new win condition Royal Hogs, not new, but you know what I'm saying, a new meta win condition would be nice to see, in my opinion, and I think that's about it on my list. So I'm pretty surprised that they did not include any of those cards. So what do you guys think of the 6 cards they did nerf and buff, and of the cards that they didn't? Let me know in the comments below what you think of this balance update, guys, and make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell notifications for the first balance and update and any new stuff that comes out for Clash Royale. I got you guys covered. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Huge shout out to Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Check out his information in the description below. Thanks, and as always, take care, guys.